What's up, guys? So, in this particular video, we'll be discussing 10 reasons why you should not be visiting Meghalaya in the month of May 2025. So, for all those who are planning a trip to Meghalaya in the month of May, remember that the points that we're going to list down now are the things that you'll have to bear with and live with, because that's how the season changes in Meghalaya, and it is a drastic shift in weather conditions because the month of May is the start of monsoon in Meghalaya, and it has already started raining in parts, especially places like Cherrapunji and Dauki have already started with rainfall, especially Dauki, which is experiencing a lot of thunderstorms. And by, I would say, the mid of May, it will be raining even in Shillong. So it's going to be a wet May weather in Meghalaya. So for all those planning, these are the 10 reasons why you should consider not visiting if wet weather and monsoon is not your gig and your favored weather for travel. So number one, like I mentioned, is heavy pre-monsoon rains. So Meghalaya gets really heavy rainfall, and the rainfall is so heavy that your umbrella will break, and I'm not even joking about it. I'm talking in reality of. So parts of Dauki along with Cherrapunji will be soaking wet in the month of May, and by default you'll need an umbrella for your entire journey. And when I say an umbrella will break, I mean all those flimsy three-fold umbrellas, which are basically sun umbrellas, are not going to work in the month of May. So do not pack for Meghalaya looking at what the weather in your home city is, because if you're coming from the northern or western part of India where it is peak summer, you will not expect it to be raining, and you'll come without an umbrella, and you're going to be stranded over there getting soaked in the rain and having to buy a really expensive umbrella in Shillong or in Guwahati. Number two is landslides and roadblocks. So these can happen, but not along the main highway from Guwahati to Shillong. This can happen more towards the interior roads from Shillong to Cherrapunji and from Shillong to Dauki or Mawlingnong. Especially on these roads, the roadblocks are possible because the roads are still being made from Shillong to Mawlingnong Dauki. The road is a mud road, so you can expect potholes, which will make the journey really difficult and treacherous. It's safe, but at the same time, you can be stranded for a few hours till the road is cleared. The road from Shillong to Cherrapunji shouldn't really have any issues because it's a very well-made road. But again, the road from Shillong to Mawlingnong to Dauki is unpaved, and it's still a dirt road, which is where the real concern is. Now, number three is by default your flights from mainland India to, I would say, Guwahati can be disrupted because even in Guwahati it will be raining, and this causes delays in the takeoff and landing of flights because of heavy fog. So when you're planning a trip to Meghalaya in the month of May, just make sure that you have a flight early in the morning and not in the second half of the day. The later your flight is expected to land in Guwahati, the harder it will get, because if there's a delay in the morning flights, all the flights are going to be delayed, and that's where the real concern arises. So just be sure about this part, that if you have not yet booked your flights, book for the first half and not the second half. Your return can be anytime because that doesn't matter. You have to just return back home. Now when it comes to the fourth point, if anyone is looking to go to Dauki specifically for, I would say, boating and camping, that's the latter won't happen. The camping is not at all possible. Camping for the season has already shut. The only option you have is boating, but at the same time you won't get to experience the crystal clear water where you can see the depth of the water and the bottom. That's not going to be possible. You'll get to see a darker green shade of water, which is a more muddy water, which is because of the heavy rains, that the mud that flows within the river is what you're going to get. Now, nevertheless, it's still a good experience. It's a different kind of experience, but again, while sitting in the boat, you can expect to get drenched, and you will need an umbrella for the entire boat ride. Number five is for those people who want to go trekking and hiking around Meghalaya. The month of May is ideally not the time to be going there, because when it rains, trekking becomes difficult because it's steep steps and slopes that you got to climb, and that becomes treacherous. If you're still inclined on going hiking and trekking around Meghalaya in the month of May, just make sure you have a very good pair of shoes, and I would recommend waterproof shoes. Along with waterproof shoes, you definitely need shoes which have a good grip. Having shoes which are waterproof but bad grip are useless, and vice versa. Hiking shoes are ideal, so if you can afford one or you already have one, go and get hiking shoes which are waterproof, because they are a lifesaver to travel to Meghalaya when you're planning trekking in the month of May. For those seeking to go caving also is not going to be possible because there's going to be so much of water in the cave and water flowing through the cave, the crevices of the cave, that it's going to be like a rain dance inside the cave. So caving is also something which is not going to be. Next point I would list on this is the fact that the views are going to be foggy, and by this I mean that when you're driving, or even in the time when you're going strolling to view the waterfall or any other viewpoint, you're not going to have a clear view like what you expect and see in the summer pictures of Meghalaya. This is going to be a short-sighted view of maybe anywhere between a few meters to a few hundred meters. That's the max that you'll get to see. So this is really going to affect you when it comes to photography and videography, because the view is going to be really hampered and it's just going to be a misty, rain-covered view, because Meghalaya is such a place in the monsoon that you'll be driving and walking through the clouds. So by default, you're not really going to get the awe-inspiring photos and videos that you want. Meghalaya in the monsoon is ideal for those people who have already been to Meghalaya in the summer and want to experience the monsoon. So it's like a part 2 kind of a time to come to Meghalaya to experience a different vibe. But for those seeking the first time visit to Meghalaya in the month of May, I would personally say skip May and come maybe in November or December, when you'll get a more pleasant experience in Meghalaya. Number 7 would be the fact that by default it's going to be humid and damp. So wherever you go, the humidity is going to be high once the rain stops. So expect the temperatures to be low but the humidity to be high because of the rain. And at the same time, your clothes are going to be soaked in rainwater, because no matter what kind of rain gear and protective gear you have, it's still going to seep through and you're going to be wet. The number 8 reason not to travel to Meghalaya in May would be the fact that it's an in-between month. When I say in-between month, it's like the monsoons haven't really arrived and the dry weather hasn't really left. So you're going to get I would say the worst of both months, because it's going to be hot when it's not raining, and it's going to be really heavy rains when it does start pouring. So when it does start raining, you can expect the place to get flooded, and then it'll just dry up. Like the rains will vanish and the place will just dry up. So it's a mixed bag, and you got to be prepared for both kind of weather. So that's what makes May a bummer. But at the same time, number 9 would be the reason why I would personally tell people not to go to Meghalaya in the month of May. Is the biggest drawback is that no matter where you go, you will always have to carry an umbrella with you, and that's an uncomfortable way to explore and experience any place. Like just carrying an umbrella every time for the entire path of your journey is not a fun experience, because it just cuts out the freedom that you would get by just having both your hands free to maybe just click a photograph or sip on something or eat something while you just walk around and stroll around. This is just going to be rush travel, because you're going from point to point and you're wet and you're soaking, and then you got to open the umbrella, which is just there for the sake of it, but at the same time you need it because that's the only way to prevent yourself from getting drenched even more. The 9th and the 10th reason would be, without doubt, going to Meghalaya in the month of May means that you're going to have a cut short experience. When I say cut short, you're going to go there, you're not going to get to see Dauki pristine and clear water like what you'd expect it to be. Even the double-decker route bridge, it's going to be good. There's going to be water flowing all over and all of that, but the photographs that you're going to get are nothing compared to what you would get in the dry season, because most of the angles that these photographs are taken from is not going to be really accessible when it's raining, because it's slippery and there's a lot of moss. Dauki camping by default is not going to happen, so that's out of the question. Then at the same time, one final reason why I would say May is a skip for Meghalaya is there's a very high chance of you falling sick because of the rain. So it rains so much and you're going to be in and out of rain, and then sitting in the vehicle, which is going to be breezy and cold. There's a very high chance that you end up getting a flu, a common cold, or even a fever, and that could hamper your experience and the ones traveling with you. But if you're still looking to go to Meghalaya in the month of May, you're free to do, because it's your life, your holiday, and your experience. If you want to join a group trip, or you're looking for a private trip to Meghalaya in May, June, or July, we do have trips happening. You can click on the link in the description and you'll get all the details from our website. You can directly book via our website, or you can WhatsApp our team related to our trip to Meghalaya. Do not WhatsApp our team related to any. WhatsApp our team only if you're interested in booking with us. Do not simply buzz our team related to queries and anything private or customized trips, because we do not deal with all of that via our sales team. If you are interested in a private trip, we can arrange for that. But if you're looking for customizations, you'll have to email us with whatever customizations you're looking for. So now till our next video about Meghalaya, stay safe, stay happy, and stay blessed.